Hi, I'd like to welcome everybody this evening for this first ever performance in Pittsburgh of Pablo Cano's Once Upon an Island. Pablo Cano was born in Cuba and came to Miami at the age of 1 along with his parents. And in speaking with Pablo about his childhood and the journey into adulthood that he made to become an artist, it's really impossible to follow up that conversation without speaking about that dislocation of his family from his native country. Our understanding of history and politics too often becomes disengaged from these kind of personal stories that Pablo deals with in his work. And it's in this spirit of intimacy and in the memories that are connected to the tastes, smells, textures, and objects of real life that Pablo makes his work. And in this way, we can even see the way that he constructs his puppets in the gallery and on stage in the performance as an attempt to take those things that other people think of as useless and really try and give life and meaning back to them. Pablo's work is also inspired by an artistic tradition known as Dada, which was something that took place in the 1920s back in Germany. And in the spirit of Dada, it meant that a lot of different people and artists from a lot of different kinds of creative expression would come together to make work that was kind of a performance event. And these events often involved a lot of risk and chance, and this was seen as part of the aesthetic element of the work. And in this sense, Pablo carries on his own work, both in the developmental stages but also in the performance today. In Miami, he collaborates with a very diverse group of artists, some of whom are able to devote their full time to making work in the studios, but many others have regular everyday jobs but are poets on the side. And they develop scripts in collaboration, numerous meetings. It takes often over a year from start to finish to get a piece to the stage. And the other way that Pablo does this is by integrating the youth of various communities in his performance. And as you watch this tonight, keep in mind that he's been here since Wednesday and has met all of the kids that you'll see on stage with him on Wednesday afternoon, and they've been working very hard to get this together since then. So I'd like to introduce the student performance team. From Shenley High School, we have Robert Johnson and Annalise Marshall. From Oliver High School, we have Megan Pavlis. Also from Oliver, we have Naomi Wilson. From Michelle Kennedy, we have Michelle Kennedy from Langley High School, Luke Fleur from Carrick, Melanie Flournay from Brashear High School, Alexis Kunsak from Quaker Valley High School, and Grace Renovic from John Morrow Elementary School. And this performance would also not have been possible without the incredible work and support of some Manchester Guild staff people that I'd like to recognize. Angelica Georgiou, our exhibitions coordinator, Philip Knisley, our project mentor, David Mills, our concert hall manager, Jay Dutt, our recording engineer, and Kevin Kerberg, our intern. The performance is going to last about 40 minutes. I know that there are many small children in the audience. At the conclusion of the performance, rather than a formal lecture, there's going to be a question and answer period. So if any of you with young kids are feeling that the kids are getting restless, please feel free to just join the reception out in the north lobby. There's more puppets to see out there. And please refrain from using flash cameras during the performance. So thank you. Enjoy the show.
Amalade omobe tejo elejo lade. Amalade omobe tejo elejo lade. Yolade. Amalada, moi, quacabe, no, yamo, fung lo. Amalada, mo, piti, yo, ella yolade.
Once upon an island, warm waters bathed its shores with fine white sand all year round. Splendid palm trees gracefully swayed with a gentle breeze. There was magic in the air, there was laughter everywhere. Princess Havana had dreams and fantasies. She sang and danced to a contagious rhythm. One day, everything changed. Nothing was the same. Many cheered and rallied, others suffered and worried. Families were torn apart and by the thousands fled. Prince Miami welcomed them with open arms. At last they were free. Almost half a century has passed. All over the island, confusion and chaos reigns. Everyone waits for change to happen. They hope in vain. Promises, promises, sacrifices, sacrifices. Princess Havana endlessly hears over and over again. Morning, night and noon, there's a sense of doom. What future lies ahead? Will there ever be an end? Perhaps the new millennium will set the island free and lovers can pursue their dreams.
Wanting you is my offense. You have all the evidence. Now I wait for you to sentence me. Must I go or must I stay? Will my skies be blue or gray? Are my dreams to be or not to be? There's no use pretending. Love needs no one defending. What is the verdict? My fate is in your hands. You're my judge and jury. What do you assure me? What is the verdict? My fate is in your hands. If the charge is loving you, then I'm guilty, dear. Tell me that you love me true, and I'll have no fear. It is you are needing, for your love I'm pleading. What is the verdict? My fate is in your hands. Do 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 do. What is the verdict? My fate is in your hands. Do 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 do. What is the verdict? My fate is in your hands. If the charge is loving you, then I'm guilty, dear. Tell me that you love me too, and I'll have no fear. Da 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 da. What is the verdict? My fate is in your hands.
I love you. I love you. What's the matter?
Someone is watching us.
What? Who?
Who?
What?
He.
He? He who? Who?
Who? He.
He who?
Ay, ay, ay. Someone is watching. He's watching me. Us. He sees and hears all I do. This is driving me crazy.
What are they going to see? I love you.
Look.
I am looking at you. I love you.
No, look.
Ah, I think I see what you mean. But look, what I really see is kids. Kids all around us.
Kids?
I only see the kids. You and the kids. Look at all the kids. Kids are okay.
Yes, yes, I know. Yes, they are okay. Kids are okay, you know. It's just that
I know you like the kids. Me too. I like kids too.
Yes. No, I don't mean the kids.
No? The grown-ups?
No, not the grown-ups.
Grown-ups are okay too.
I know. All kids grow up. We all grow up, don't we? We are all big kids, really. You know.
We do, don't we? We are, aren't we? Well, who?
Yes, no, not at all. I feel a little dizzy.
Am I making you dizzy? I make you dizzy. Ha! It's all this he, who stuff. I don't understand you today.
It's not you. It isn't you. I mean, I feel dizzy. Like I'm in a dream. It's not real. Like what is happening here is not real.
Well, it is. I said I love you. You know I love you.
No. Yes. No. Isn't that? It isn't that you love me.
Well, what then? What do you mean?
Or don't love me. Well, you know.
You get so funny.
I feel a little funny. That's why, you, me, everything seems unreal. Not just funny. What is happening to us is unreal, like it shouldn't be happening.
Well, look, you know I don't disagree. But look all around us. Look at the sea of faces looking at us. They're all around us.
All around like the sea. All around everywhere. That's part of what it is. That's part of what I feel. That's what's always been. It is the sea. It always been the sea. The sea you cannot see. I know it is all the same sea, but the sea we see from where you can't see from elsewhere. And it is also he you cannot see. You never see him looking at me.
What is this dialogue?
What's this to you? We're talking here.
What's this to me, you say? Ha! Either you go through channels or we won't play ball.
But...
See what you've done? You've made her cry again. This can't go on. I complain. Somebody must complain.
Complain of your meddling. Always sending her things I must dispose of. What do you think she is? Like everyone you play with? You're a playboy.
I'm not playing games. And stop calling me names.
Look here, big boy, you are just a kid. If you think this is rough, you haven't seen anything yet.
I cannot see? I see the sea. I can, too, see the sea.
No, you can't see. From where you are, you cannot see. You only see the sea. Deep and green and blue and forbidding. This mysterious sea, this terrifying, ever-changing, ever-present sea. What do you know of a sea? Why do you see the sea? You think you know the sea. Ay, ay, ay.
I have the same as you. It's the same sea we see.
It is? You think it is. But you are not in the sea. You are not like me. I am in the sea. I am the sea. Always have been. It is all around me.
Me too. Well, it's out there, in front of me, in back of all I see. I see the buildings and I see the sea.
And you, stay out of my sea. My sea. You think you own everything, but my sea is my sea. You can't be in my sea. Don't come into my sea. Caramba!
Well, how are you, my dear? Have we been introduced? Are you from here?
I am. And I have been seeing you many times before, but we have never spoken.
So you come often. Do you stay for long? Do you like what you see? Is something wrong?
Well, it is lovely down here, thank you, but not always it's been ever well above.
Look at the tropical storm above. It will soon be over, of course. But meanwhile, some of the local residents are impatient for the lunch break, and you know how it is nowadays. With everything so regimented, no one can have this, even a nibble, not to say a nosh, until they stand in line and do as the leader Minimo says.
Minimo? Why, I think that's funny. What kind of name is that?
Well, you all used to call him Leader Maximo, but he took everything. And now there's so little left, he's become Leader Minimo. But as you know, it's even gotten worse.
Oh, no, no, oh, my God, oh, no, ¿cómo está? What's going on? Oh, whoa, ow, oh, no, I got no.
Well, how is that for a show?
I couldn't see. It was too foamy frothy. It all happened so fast. It was so splishy splashy.
You bet it was. It's not over yet. He'll never make that big bad fish his pet.
bother me. I think everything's fine. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Haven't got a lot, I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Just take it from me, I'm just as free as any dove. I do what I like, just when I like, and how I love it. I don't give a hoot, give my cares to boot. All the world is in rhyme. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. What I like, get what I like, once in a while. But if she says no, let her go and keep on smiling. I'm right here to stay when I'm old and gray. I'll be right in my prime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful, having a heck of a, I said a heck of a time.
This is crazy. How long can this go on? How can one stand it? What can be done? Is it worth it to try and change this thing, or wait and see what happens? Who can go on taking the abuse, the lies, the insults, and the hurt? Maybe it's better to think it's a nightmare, that we'll wake up one day and it's all gone. But this nightmare can kill us if it goes on, of an attack or of old age, or of a bomb. We can't ever tell. But anyway, this can't go on. It must soon end. If it goes on, it may well be the end of all of us. But what's that on the beach? Why, it's a rattle. What is going on?
My goodness, more rafters. Oh, and the tourists are coming.
Wow, what was that all about?
Those poor people are falseros. They come across the ocean in those flimsy little rafts.
Oh, those little children. Even the mother's a little child. What happened to the father? What will they do here? What happens to them now? And the music. Did you hear the music?
Do you think they brought any cigars?
I love her.
Getting longer and the nights are getting shorter. While my life seemed to be on pause, the months pass quickly by. but each year seems longer than the last. Sometimes I wish that my life were on tape. I could put it on fast forward and press play where I wanted to be. I could skip all the sick days, play all the vacations, parties, and smiles. I go ahead to when I've learned all I need. I could learn for pleasure, not for grades. I could rewind and play over and over those moments that warm your heart. I could relive my first love, first kiss, first tear. I could go back to that first I love you I heard. And I feel each moment all over again. There are so many things I could repeat, so many things I could pass by. But then life would never end. And we could choose our moments in time. We could learn from our tragic experiences. We will simply relish in happy ones. We would not be stronger for them because they would not really take place. If they were on tape, we will be happier people, but we will not be who we are today. Oh, hi.
I love you. I came back to tell you again.
I see. I'm nervous.
Look at the moon. It's the same moon here as there.
It is?
Yes. I love you. Do you love me?
Yes, I do.
I want you to come with me.
Come with you.
Yes, now. I want to take you back.
Take me back? Take me back with you?
Yes. You know I want you with me. Don't you want to be with me?
You know I do.
Then you must come. I'll take you back.
You know I can't. You can't.
I want to marry you and have children.
How sweet.
Yes. I want you to give me many children. I want us to have a future. I love you, and I know you love me too.
You already have many of my children. They are on your beaches, on your streets, in your air-conditioned buildings. They are on the malecon. They live on the rafts. They fly back and forth. They're already here and there, living and studying and working and playing. They are already our present, and they will be our future.
Quiéreme mucho, dulce amor mío, que amante siempre te adoraré. Yo con tus besos y tus caricias, mis sufrimientos acallaré. Cuando se quiere de veras, como te quiero yo a ti. Es imposible, mi cielo, tan separados, vivir. Cuando se quiere de veras, como te quiero yo a ti. Es imposible, mi cielo, tan separados vivir. preparados. Vivir
Well, I hope you enjoyed my love poem, my love letter to Miami and Havana. This piece is, of course, very important to me, and I'd love to thank the Manchester Craftsmen's Guild for inviting me to bring to Pittsburgh, a beautiful city, and its people. I'd like to say that the writer for this piece, Hervin Romney, the architect in Miami, also a writer, helped me tremendously in a whole years of production for this piece. And I told him from the beginning, this has to be like a love letter. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Yes? Well, that's a great question. How long does it take me to make a puppet? Sometimes a whole year can go by without completing one. It's still in the process of being made. Sometimes it can be born overnight. And I always call them a new generation of marionettes, or new generation, or new collection. And in this particular piece, I used a lot of rod puppets, shadow puppets, and traditional marionettes. Any other question? Yes? Sir? Everything can be taken down and assembled and disassembled. And I have everything in a little Florida room in my house and in the living room. So I'm always well accompanied. I'm sorry? You collect for quite a long time to acquire all the pieces? Well, this piece I designed is a full year of production. And not including the stage, of course. That's about 15 years old now. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes?
What do you like for the face for the body? Do you just like find things, or is it something that looks interesting to you, or?
All the above. The things that I find, the materials, all have to be lightweight. They all have to be shiny materials. I love dog food can lids, aluminum, trash pails, anything that I can plastic, anything that I can bolt together, glue, nail, is used. Yes?
How long does it take you to make like the whole theater together?
That's a very good question. Another good question. How long did it take me to make the theater? It took about 2 years. And that was just getting the concept going the first year. And then the second year was the actual making of the piece. Yeah.
Do you have another job other than this?
Well, did I have another job other than this? Well, I did. I taught for about 9 years at the New World School of the Arts in Miami, and I decided one day to invest all the time that I put into my art, all the degrees that I had earned, into my production. So now I live from these productions and the selling of the marionettes. Yes.
So since Wednesday, you taught the students how to put on the production with you?
Yes, and we worked very hard, and thanks to them and their patience and good memory, we were able to put it for you tonight. So, any other questions? Yes, a little boy, a little girl. Well, that's the Elian Gonzalez situation, as you put it, or saga, is it's almost like a parody with Odysseus, in my view. I think that he should stay in the United States. I feel that it would be an injustice to send him back. I think that his mother gave her life for that little boy to be in the free country and liberty and try to get the best education and life possible. And as we speak, there are probably more children and more people on the high seas with ominous sharks trying to get to our shores. So, any other question? Well, in this particular one, of course, I wanted it to be very personal, very autobiographical. If I were to hold up a mirror in my community, this is what I would see, in my opinion and in my inspiration. We're all very hopeful for a new millennium, for change, for a free and liberty for Cuba. Any other questions? Mm-hmm.
When you make this stuff, where do you take it out?
Everything I put is in my home. Everything I put together winds up in my home. Yeah.
Where do you find this stuff?
Well, that's a good question. Where do I find the stuff? Well, I go to the Goodwill, I go to thrift shops. Friends bring me a lot of the cigarette foil that you see on the stage. All of the silver foil you see there is from Marlboro cigarette packs. And this dog food can lids, all these things are things that friends of mine have brought me and I've collected. Yes, a lady in... Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm very hopeful that we'll take it very soon to MoMA in New York, and hopefully we'll have the funding for that. So, yes. No, I haven't. I have 2 cousins in Cuba. I have still in Cuba, and I would go to see them. I would. Although it would be very hard for me. But as long as I see people dying and risking their lives to come to our shores, I can't feel in good conscience to go. That's my own personal view. Yeah. Yes? Well, how does the show travel? Well, the Manchester Craftsmen Guild provided the transportation for this show. They arrived with a huge van, and we filled every nook and cranny of it. And through the many months of doing an installation in their gallery that I thought was way beyond my expectations, and the show, now it'll be ready to go back on the 31st of March. Mm-hmm.
Are there any more shows while you are in Pittsburgh? Are you going to perform?
No, this is our final performance. Thank you. Yes, the lady.
I really admire your work. This is really beautiful. I really can't let this go by because I've been to Cuba 7 times and I go to 8. And I've seen a totally different Cuba. And the education the children receive there and the safety in the schools is so far superior to ours. And I wish you could go back just to see that children are their most treasured commodity. I mean, they love children. And I don't see all this that you're seeing, and I really wish you could go back just to see another viewpoint.
Well, I understand, and your opinion on it. I think you have to live it and see it for yourself in Miami as well, to see both the propaganda aspects and what isn't propaganda. And if it's so wonderful, why are so many people dying, trying to leave and trying to... I wouldn't risk my life for just that. I think that I'd risk it to have a better life, period. Okay. Yes, a little more. Also known as Fidel Castro, Doctor of Darkness. Yes. Well, we very carefully synchronize it. That's a great question. How do we pop the balloon? Well, it's all timing and talent by the marionettist of the shark. Well, yes, the little boy in the back. Yeah. Little girl. Oh, the little girl in the back. Yeah. Yes. Is there any artists that inspire me with this work? And of course, I've looked at a lot of Russian constructivist art from the 1920s. I looked at a lot of Pablo Picasso's work, and Oscar Schlemmer's, Kurt Schwitter's. These artists have contributed tremendously in my work. Any other questions? Yes, gentlemen.
Do you have other themes or productions that you've either done or you plan to do?
Yes, the show presently at the gallery here is one production that I did called Cavalletti's Dream. And you'll see all the different characters. It dealt with a lot of mythological characters. And I also did a performance of a 17th century style called The Pursuit of Love. And it was based on the paintings by Jean-Honoré Fragonard that are at the Frick collection. And the first production I did for my thesis in New York, which included the stage here, was animated altarpieces. It was a medieval passion play which included 5 different reenactments of saints. And that was a great deal of fun. And that collection is now in the private collection of the Rubel Museum in Miami. Any other questions? That's a little girl?
You said that those puppets sell. How much would they cost?
Well, it ranges from $10,000 for the life-size figures down to as much as $150 for the shadow puppets. And yes, the little girl in the back again? Yeah? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Is it hard to make a puppet? Well, if you're not inspired and if you've got the muses against you, it's murder. But sometimes if you feel that everything's going well. It's amazing how it's a lot like surfing, and you just, time is relative, and you just keep working until it's completed. Yeah, yeah. Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The spider. She asked me how I made the spider. Well, one day I was driving on 7th Street, Southwest 7th Street in Miami, and I saw this black lacquered captain's chair. And that's how I made his legs. And the back of it is a part from some kind of a vacuum cleaner. And the nose is symbolic of kind of like a pig's nose, which would be a reminder of Animal Farm, and in that context I put it on. Of course, he has his traditional cigar and baseball bat, and one of the eyes is a baseball, because he loves baseball. So, I thought it was a wonderful metaphor, because he is a kind of spider in that there's a web, if you will. There's a kind of web that has been spun, or a cocoon, around the island. And every once in a while, there's somebody who can breach the sea wall, as I call it. So, yes, the lady. Yes. Did I what? Yeah, yeah. That balloon is our showstopper. Yeah. I think it's what do I like most about doing these productions, and I think it's the interaction of working with people, inviting commentary and opinions and back and forth, especially with this piece, which is incredibly sensitive to a lot of people, and then putting it in this context, I feel like it's a work in progress. That's really what it is. Hopefully there'll be another part 2. Yeah. Yeah.
How are the stage participants selected? Did they volunteer? Were they recruited? Are they paid to do this?
They're volunteers, wonderful volunteers. That's how I always work. Right. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I was so